Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and my 1,000 subscriber special, I guess it is. I honestly, for a while I didn't even know what to do. My channel amazingly has grown so much here just recently, and I owe it all to the people who watch, who want to see me, who tell me they enjoy it, and that's the best. That's the best thing ever. Honestly, I can't believe it. Honestly, I'm a little stunned, and I need to come up. I needed to come up with something to do. I was gonna do a 500 subscriber thing, but I blew 500 out of the water, and now I'm at 1,000, and I sat here and I thought about it for a while. What should I do? What should I do? I asked my kids, what should I do? And I mean, 1,000-minute episode? No, I'm sorry. I can't do 16 hours of recording. I don't have 16 hours to spend playing a game in a row, let alone 16 hours to record it. Do you know how long that would take to upload? Not that they would let me. YouTube wouldn't let me anyway. So I thought about it, and I thought about it. And there's something that I've mentioned in previous videos before most of you ever got here. And I thought, I should talk about it, I guess. Actually finish my discussion, because I have these rules. I call them Shades rules for gaming, and a little bit for life. And I've never really compiled the list, and I don't even know if this is all of them, but I came up with some. And I wanted to talk to you guys about them and ask you to take a moment to think about it, because it's made me feel better in my life. It's made my life better, and if it might make your life better. So I don't know. I feel like the old man giving advice to the kid, but here they are. Okay. Rule number 1. If you aren't having fun, stop. Like, if you're playing a game and it's not fun to you, stop playing it. Find a way to make it fun, or go play something else. Gaming is entertainment, and you need to make sure you remember that. I mean, if you are someone who enjoys torturing themselves with a game that just feels bad to you, then play on. But I think most people don't enjoy bad gameplay or design, and something that should, at the very least, be a pleasant distraction, and hopefully, at the best, a really fun time. I first realized this. I mean, this came to me when I went to see a movie with my friends. It was the horror movie, and I use quotes around horror. I actually made air quotes. Urban Legend. And man, that is a terrible movie. It's so bad. I remember the exact line in that movie that made me say to myself, nope, no more. I am done with this. Some woman in the story looks at the other characters and delivers the line, what if someone is taking all these urban legends and making them come true? I don't know if that's it word for word, but it was delivered almost exactly like I delivered that. And my brain could not take it anymore. I felt myself getting stupider. And the delivery, plus the horrible acting, action, writing, it was the end of what I could take. And the only thing I could think was that I had spent almost $15 to see this movie with my friends, and I hated it. I'm out $15. Finally, I turned to my group of friends and I whispered, I'm out of here. This movie is terrible. I'm going to get my money back and I'm leaving. 2 of my friends agreed, and 3 of them didn't. They wanted to continue watching it. And now I was stuck in this situation that almost everybody's been in one way or another, where we're splitting our group of friends. And at the time, my maturity level, my experiences in the world, it made me terrified that I might lose the other 3 friends because of this slight, I guess, deciding that I didn't like what they liked. And I know now that if this would have wrecked our friendship, it would have meant we didn't really have a friendship. We were maybe acquaintances at best, not friends. And thankfully, it didn't have that effect. So, but I looked at the screen one more time to some terrible memory, or terrible moment that my memory has blocked due to the mental trauma it gave me, I guess. I looked at my other 2 friends who wanted to leave. I stood up. All 3 walked out, demanded our money back. We got it. And the 3 of us went shopping in the mall. We hung out. We had fun. Joked. Laughed. It was a good time. And at some point during all this small thought formed in my head. It took it a while to coalesce into something hard, but I finally, at some point, realized I was willing to walk away from that movie that I was watching with my friends, that I paid money for, and half of them, well, more than half of them, liked it, and I just didn't. I was in the minority, really, I guess, and I stopped being bored and horrified, not by the movie, but by the writing and acting, and left. And when I did, it was scary to do it, but it turned out to become a great night with lots of fun. But I had been playing some games lately when this happened, and that I felt the same way about, but I kept playing them, bored or miserable or frustrated or annoyed, simply because my other friends really liked them and kept talking to me and telling me how exciting they were and how much fun, and I didn't see it. Metal Gear Solid, it's a good game, I guess. It just didn't feel good to me. The ridiculous Hideo Kojima story, and this is before the stories got really bad, it just didn't grab me. And like I said, that one's probably the best story of all of the Metal Gear games so far. The least ridiculous. I mean, there was Oddworld, Abe's Exodus that came out that year, Resident Evil Director's Cut, even Resident Evil 2 came out earlier in the year, and I just didn't like them. They were fun to lots of people, and that's great, but to me, they just weren't. They weren't fun at all, but everyone kept saying, oh, wait till you get to this part. Have you done this yet? And, oh my god, you're going to love it. And I didn't. I really didn't love them, but I felt compelled by a need that everybody gets to belong, to be a part of that, to be a part of my friends, to keep playing them. When really, I wanted to play Descent Free Space. I want to play that now because I've been playing Particle Fleet, and it makes me think of space. I was wanting to play Fallout 2 when it came out a little bit, actually, like that month, the next month, it was coming out. And I wanted to play that, so I wanted to play some more Fallout, dig into it and experience it, get ready for Fallout 2. StarCraft even, I wanted to play that, anything. But those games that people kept demanding I play. And I finally realized in a moment of growth, maturity, whatever, that people have, that I needed to do what I liked. And if I didn't like it, it shouldn't wreck my friendships, you know? So I started being honest with myself. And I stopped playing things I didn't like, or I made them fun. You know, I turned Metal Gear Solid into a game where I would get spotted on purpose and just see how long I could fight everyone off, using guns or just my fists or my hands or, you know, what have you. And that was fun to me. So this rule was created. If you aren't having fun, you know, stop. Make it fun. Or do something else. It's hard to remember it sometimes when the pressure is on from your peers and from gaming society at large. But really, none of that matters. And trust me, life is way too short to entertain yourself with things that you don't find entertaining. Just don't do it. Enjoy what you like and forget the rest. That's it. Rule number 2. Don't play a game the way others tell you to. Play it the way you enjoy. This is a little like the first one. Actually, all of these kind of feel like the same, but I think to me they're, you know, in my head I've made them separate rules because they are separate points. You know, just because, you know, someone decided that the best way to play a game, the optimal way or the easiest way or the funnest way, or doesn't mean it is to you. I mean, you don't have to rush with the Zerg when you play StarCraft. Maybe you want to not rush. Maybe you want to try to turtle with the Zerg. Maybe that's fun to you. It would be a different challenge for sure. You don't have to use the optimized opening for a Civilization game. Maybe you want to immediately start a war. You know, you just need to see if you can find a way that you like. I kind of hate when someone tells me that something isn't optimized. I hate it. I don't care. I don't need it to be optimized. I need it to be fun. That's what I want. I played Baldur's Gate with only one character, a fighter thief, and I beat it. Why? Because and this is my second playthrough, because the first time I played through, the party thing, just, I didn't enjoy it. I preferred to have the lone hero. I wanted the one guy. I didn't want 6, 8 people, or however many it was that you could have in your party. I mean, doing it that way, it was hard. It was weird, and it was often hilarious. But it definitely wasn't optimized. It wasn't the best way of doing it. It was just the way I did it, and I enjoyed it. You know, I've played every kind of bad character that you could possibly make in Fallout or Fallout 2. Well, I shouldn't say possibly. I'm sure somebody's come up with something I haven't tried, but I've given myself terrible stats, terrible tag skills, bad traits. I mean, jinxed is my favorite trait, honestly. Just knowing that every time I pull the trigger on my gun, it may explode in my hand. You know, I just want the game. I wanted it to be different. You know, most games I play through the first time. I try not to pay attention to what other people tell me to do, but everybody usually follows kind of the same path through a game when it first comes out. There may be some variance, but almost everybody plays kind of the same way. You know, I'm not saying I didn't do semi-optimal stats the first time and tag small guns and repair and science. You know, traits that fit my character that didn't impede me really in any way, and I beat it that way. Then I started doing other things. I was told you could win the whole game just by using speech, so I did speech, barter, and first aid as my tag skills, and I beat it. and I had way more fun than I did the first time. So, don't do what people tell you should do. If you enjoy doing the optimal, hey, being as optimized and perfect as possible, go for it. Enjoy it, and seriously, all the power to you. What I'm trying to say is have fun. That's the only thing. But it isn't me. That's not really what I want. I know sometimes I have to do optimal things to beat a level, but that doesn't mean I always have to do the optimal thing. In some games, you have to do some of the optimal things to even finish the game. But it doesn't mean that I always have to. It doesn't mean I have to until I have to. Does that make sense? But, fun, wacky, weird. That's fun to me. Playing the game the way I want to, and not even necessarily the way the designers wanted it played, that's me getting fun out of a game. I don't do it on purpose. I just do it because I think a lot of game design is bad. It's very pigeonholy, and that's fine in some cases because that's what the game is. Call of Duty without guns or weapons of any kind, that's not Call of Duty. That's something else. So, I don't know. I would max out my army count in Warcraft 3 before I would make a single move from my base. And that was fun to me. I liked having this huge army and sweeping the whole map. Playing GTA and only using cars to kill people that were attacking me whenever possible. And it was fun to me. Just something weird, different, wacky, and more importantly, new is what I enjoy. I just want new. I want different. I don't want the same thing over and over. I don't. And I don't feel a need to be the best. And you don't have to either. So just do what you like. Enjoy it. If you're having fun, you've won. That's it. You're the champ. If you're having fun playing the game, you won. It's all that matters. In games, in life, in love, in school, in anything. Try to enjoy it. Don't do what others tell you, because that can make it boring after a while. But when it comes to life and love and school, things other than video games, do it within reason. Don't hurt yourself, don't hurt others. And yeah, you do have to follow the rules. Or I guess, at the very least, be willing to pay the hard consequences when you break them. So, that's it. And I guess that kind of brings me to rule number 3. No game is good unless you think it is. And no game is bad unless you think it is. But everyone is different, and your good game might be their bad game. Let them enjoy their games, you enjoy yours, and there is no need to fight over it. Don't fight over which game is better than the other. Every single thing in life is subjective. What I like, you might not. What you like, I might not. It doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. You can be friends and have different likes and dislikes. You don't have to argue with someone who says they don't like what you like. I see it all the time on the internet, and in real life, I see it all the time. Someone says, yeah, I like Battlefield more than Call of Duty, and suddenly the fight is friggin' on, and arguments, insults, threats. How dare you not like my favorite game? Seriously, don't be like this. How boring would life be if everyone liked exactly the same thing? Do you know how bad both Call of Duty or Battlefield would be if they didn't have each other to compete against? I don't like either one of them. I don't. I'll play the campaign if a friend loans it to me, but I'm not going to buy either one. I won't play the multiplayer. To me, life is way too short to listen to some idiot on the internet yelling slurs and cursing my mother. And most multiplayer games get ruined by people who I feel are breaking rule number 1. They aren't having fun, so they are yelling and screaming and swearing and insulting and breaking their TVs. I mean, I haven't rage quit a game in years. I've side quit, just this is boring, and quit. I've shrug quit. I've given a shrug and thought, meh. I've even rolled my eyes and quit. And this is what people are excited about? If I start to feel annoyed, I stop. I set the controller down. I take my hands off the keyboard. And then I think about it. Decide if I can make the game fun for me. And, if it's even worth the effort to try to make it fun, and sometimes it's not. Or would I rather just go play another game of Dungeon Keeper again? I mean, then shrug quit, say meh, and do something else, or follow rule number 1 and make it fun for me. I've done it even when I was winning because it got repetitive. I remember when Q-Test came out, the Quake beta test back in the 90s. Me and my friend Utku, we spent most of that summer playing that game online multiplayer, because that's all it was. It was just an online multiplayer. I think it was like 3 maps. And on a side note, I kind of missed the age of multiplayer that didn't have voice chat, but that's a different rant. He was living on campus, and since he was a foreign exchange student, he got to stay on campus during the summer. And the campus had a brand new T1 connection that they put in that summer. And so he had a connection in his room. And it was something that most people didn't have. That wasn't a speed that, at that time, people would ever really reach with their dial-up modems and whatever else they had. I mean, people just didn't have that kind of internet. It was blazingly fast for the time. And it did. It gave us a huge advantage. I'd like to think that part of the reason why we were winning was my skill, but we were also, LPBs, so but we were winning all the time. We were top of the leaderboard in like every match we played, and I got bored. I gibbed so many people that even the eyeball gib flying at my screen that occasionally happened didn't make me laugh anymore. So I stopped. I thought about it, decided I didn't want to play more. Or that I did. I didn't want to play like that anymore. So I did something different. I changed my colors to white. I changed my name to Rabbit. And I ran around with the axe, hopping constantly, bouncing up and down, and whacking people with my axe. It was a blast. I wasn't winning, but not on the scoreboard at least. But in reality, I was having a great time. And then, it was pretty amazing. Other people, were having fun. And suddenly, entire servers of people were, axe-wielding white rabbits bouncing around, jumping, and hitting each other with their axes. And those 2-3 hours I spent doing that still make me smile today. And I mean, that was, oh God, I don't even want to think about how long ago that was, because it just makes me feel old. But I guess I'm just saying, don't argue about what is the better game. I think so far the best game of all time, to me, is Dungeon Keeper. It had everything I wanted, and it still does. It's an RTS, it's a simulation, it's a first-person shooter, it's got humor, you get to be evil. What's not great about that? But other people don't get it. They don't like it. And it's cool. I don't care. Feel free to think that Dungeon Keeper is the worst game ever. It doesn't bother me, because I have a great time with it. I have fun with it. So stop arguing about it. Life is too short to debate whether the newest Call of Duty game is better than the newest Battlefield, or Xbox is better than PS3. It's subjective. We don't all find the same people attractive. We don't all like the same food. We don't like the same smells, clothes, shoes. Is Nvidia or AMD better? Coffee and... Speaking of which, I think I need a drink of mine. Hold on. It is fine that other people don't like what you like, and you should embrace that. That is the only reason we get the variety in life that we do. It's the only reason. Like I said, if everyone liked one game, all we would have is that one game forever. If everyone only liked peanut butter and jelly, all we would have are peanut farms and grape and strawberry farms to make jelly. That's it. That's it. That would be all we ever had. You want to order out? Yeah. Where do you want to go? Well, I guess we'll order peanut butter and jelly because that's the only food that exists. You know, if everybody had the same taste and fashion, we would all look exactly the same. It would be like something out of 1984. We'd all be wearing the same clothes. We'd all be walking around. We'd all want to do the same exact job. Society would fall apart. Somebody would decide that everybody liked dogs or everybody liked cats and the others would be gone. It would suck. We don't want people in the world to want the same things. We want everything to be different. And so, you know, maybe next time somebody says, I like Call of Duty better than Battlefield, or Minecraft sucks, play whatever other block building game there is, look at them and go, cool, thanks, and drop it. That's it. The conversation's over. You both win. You both get to play the game you like. Nobody loses. The only time you lose is when you get into that argument. You start screaming and yelling and insulting and threatening and acting like an idiot. That's the only thing I can describe it as. Don't be that guy. Don't do that. So, there they are. At least 3. I may have more. I'll have to think about it. Some of them maybe haven't coalesced into an actual rule, but here's at least the first 3 of Shade's rules for gaming. Number 1, if you aren't having fun, stop. Make it fun or do something else. Number 2, don't play a game the way others tell you to. Yeah, just play it the way you are having fun with it. And 3, don't fight with people about which game is better or which thing is better or anything. Don't fight with people about what their opinion is when it differs from you, because that's what an opinion is. It's what they think. It's not a fact. It doesn't change your enjoyment of anything. It just is a statement of what they enjoy. And it's not worth fighting over. Now, I guess right here, I'm going to put in another one. And it's one that's been said by people forever. But I really, really, really want people to actually listen to this. You've heard it so many times that your brain is just going to dismiss it immediately. But don't. Think about it. Life is too short to not be enjoying it. You're not going to enjoy it all the time. You're not. Things happen. Sometimes you get in a situation or something happens that is completely not enjoyable. But when you can, suck every single drop of fun, of enjoyment, of happiness that you can out of life. Don't let a single moment go by where you could do something fun. Follow the other rules. But especially number one. That's why it's number one. But life is too short. It really is. It seems like it's going to last forever, but it's not. Life is... Well, George Carlin says life is exactly as long as it's supposed to be. But the thing is, you don't know how long that is. And as you get older, and here I am, I'm the old man, I'm going to tell you, because I am probably older than 90% of the people who watch my channel. You'll find that life just starts to blend together. I went through this. It just blends together and it becomes boring. Whole months disappear. Whole weeks, whole days. You're just like, what? What do you mean it's October? It's... I thought it was still February, you know? It's... What do you mean the summer's gone? What do you mean? And it's because you stop doing different things. And oddly enough, one of the most important things I've ever learned, one of the most important quotes that I've ever heard, is from Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails in one of his songs. And I know what he was thinking about, but if you take it out of that context and you just look at the quote, there's nothing like the feel of something new. That quote is 100% true. There is nothing like the feel of something new. I envy every small child that I see, because there's going to be things that are going to happen that I never get to experience again. You know, I don't get to have a wiggly tooth that falls out and then feel a new one growing in. That kind of pain, but it doesn't really hurt, and you just can't stop sticking your tongue in the hole. And I know it's a stupid thing. I know it's a silly thing. I know it's a tiny thing, but it's gone. It's gone. It will never happen to me again. I'm not going to grow any more teeth. You know, just being small and how the world seems so big and how everything is new and different and exciting and amazing. Most of that's gone for me. Because I grew up. I got old. Older. I wouldn't call myself old yet, although I feel old sometimes. But life's too short. So, you know, carpe diem. Seize the day. Seize the moment. Every chance you get. You know, take care of what you're supposed to take care of. Go to your work. Pay your bills. But that's not your whole life. Don't let it be your whole life. I mean, unless your job is just the most fun thing you've ever done. Don't let it be your whole life. As soon as you can, find something fun. Do something fun. Try something different, new. Because there's nothing like the feel of something new. Nothing feels better than just trying something different and doing something different. Playing something new. I mean, the best time for any video game let me change that. The best time for any video game genre is to play that game, that genre, for the first time. Because you've never experienced anything like it. It's completely new. It's completely different. I mean, in relation to video games, I grew up at the right time. I got to experience every new thing that's come along down the pipe. Every single new genre I've got to experience when it first arrived. when it first was conceived of and made and built. Simulation, strategy, first-person shooters, side-scrollers, adventure games, everything I've gotten to experience when it happened. And I'll never forget the first one of each of those games I played, because they feel like they were the best because they were new and they were different and exciting. So don't let life slip you by. Don't let anything slip you by. Do something new, do something different, and just have a good one. And that's all I can wish you. And that's what I hope everybody has. I hope everybody has the best day, minute, moment, life, week, year, month that they possibly can. And that's all up to you. So I guess that's it. I decided I was gonna do this as my 1,000 viewer thing, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, I hope you stopped and went and did something else. I hope you paid attention to at least rule number 1 and made it fun for you. And I'll see you guys all later. Bye.